Hey, what's up, Facebook? It is the 12th of December, 2019, so I want you to think a little bit of RFB in there. I want you to take a look at the 5G deception. This happened in over a stadium in South Korea, if I'm reading this correctly. It's part of using 5G technology. A mythical dragon-like animal, wyvern, never heard of it, was brought to life using it at the 5G equipped South Korea Happy Dream Park, home to South Korea Wyverns. Okay, it must be a baseball team. The large fire-breathing dragon. It says, okay, so the wyverns are dragons. All right, something new. So the large and it's also named a baseball team. The large fire-breathing dragon, or wyvern, flying around the park, was streamed live through sports broadcasting channels for baseball fans. To realize the amazing augmented reality of 5G, South Korea Telecom has applied its self-developed AR virtual reality technology such as eSpace, a hyperspace platform that can replicate the real world in a virtual space. So basically what they did was they used 5G technology to have this flying dragon-like animal, what a beast, flying around and perching itself on the roof of the stadium and flying around again, and then finally things come out of the ground, form a big platform, and it sets itself up right there on the field, and it looks very lifelike. So with that said, don't think for one moment they can't stage a fake alien invasion, that they can't do a fake rapture, and those that are left behind that are Christians think, well, why was I left behind? I mean, why? And then they fall away from the faith. See what I mean? This is a way they can do things. But I want you to take a look at this. First of all, I'm going to see if I am live. Just nobody cares or nobody's being alerted. So take a look at this. Take a look. This is going to blow your mind. Sound effects. Says 5G. 5G is no joke, party people. It is absolutely no joke. Not only is it capable of deceiving the masses, because they could pull off, like I said, a fake alien invasion, and notice how they keep talking that soft disclosure about aliens and pilots coming forth. That was always taboo. Pilots were never allowed, and the government never came out like this and admitted to what they're in soft disclosure form. So the fact is, they are staging it, and they're prepping. They're getting ready to stage it, and they're prepping the skies. And you can check out Richie from Boston. The chemtrails up there, how the nanoparticulates of the heavy metal strontium and barium in particular act as an actual movie screen. And he shows you the patents. He shows you the documents that said all this. Since 1980s, they've had this technology of doing this. Just think about it. You got the silver screen, right? You got the silver screen, which is a movie theater, where they project the beam, the movie onto the screen, the silver screen. Well, why do we see? Why does we call the skies gray now? It's actually, but that's their silver screen when they spray the sky. So this chemtrailing is multifaceted. I went through the list of multi reasons, but this is another one, because the sky is their movie screen ultimately to deceive the masses, just like they indoctrinate you or mind control you in the movie theater watching your heli weird movies. They're going to do the ultimate heli weird up there, and it makes a lot of sense what's going on. But you have to have an open-mindedness, and the Bible clearly says in the end times men's hearts will fail them in the last days for fear of looking after things that are coming upon the earth. And so these are the things that are going to happen, all right? And they're already setting the stage, and the fact that you're still asleep, what do they call it? What do they say? They got carte blanche. They just have a free-for-all. And your silence is absolute consent. Your continued ignorance is absolute consent. So you're part of the problem, part of the solution. And the way I see it, we have more sheeple than people in that respect. And I was just saying something went wrong with my Facebook. How did something go wrong? Something went wrong, it's saying. Let's see what went wrong. Am I still alive? Hold on just a second, because they're good at this. Something went wrong. Please try again later. It's unbelievable. And also in this is the cell towers. The cell towers are not there for communication at all. It's these are facts.org, truth.edu. They're not there for communication. What they are there is to do as is actually for basically they can turn up the juice, or our AI gets a hold of it, can turn up the juice according to God rules, and basically nuke the entire freaking town or city, because these things are exponentially go beyond the safe limits as set by the governments for radiation, way beyond. I think like each tower is equivalent of 300 microwaves. And it talks about, it shows you people's accounts of them getting a C word that rhymes with answer. If you're working near a cell tower, if you're working in Atlanta, you're getting hammered by radiation. If you live in Atlanta and work there, you're getting hammered 24/7. I mean, there's just no way around it. You can't run and hide from it, in other words, when you live in city limits, because they have so much concentrated cell towers, death towers, that, you basically what you're doing is you're pursuing, you're putting cash and earning a paycheck above your health. So you're shortening your lifespan because under the guise that I have to pay my bills, put my food on the table. I get that, but do you have to do it in the ATL? You got to start thinking like this. And if you have to do it in the ATL, you better start helping us reach critical mass awareness and get these freaking towers the hell out of Atlanta, the hell out of everywhere. They're just death towers. And they're putting up fake cell towers. Who are they? Well, one breath, this video for God Rules has someone saying they don't know, but then comes to find out that these things are around military bases. Military bases are going to be aware of what the hell's on them, or in them, or around them, right? So it looks to me that this is a military operation with these fake cell towers. In addition, we got the regular cell towers, death towers, then we got fake death cell towers. But the fake ones can intercept your phone call, they can tap in your phone call, and they can collect whatever data is on your phone, period. It's there basically to mine you, a data mine. So there's that one, and it's just unbelievable. This is all facts, and you need to wake up for it. I'll have the links there. Declassified government documents confirm everything, that the governments are in contact, and they're not in contact with aliens in the context that there are people, hey Jordan, this is serious stuff. If you go back and rewind this after I'm off live, you'll see that 5G in South Korea, they use 5G technology to actually have a fire-breathing dragon fly around it. It perches itself on the stadium, literally, like right before your eyes. So I call that the 5G deception. It's also deceptive to think that 5G is there to help you download that movie in 30 seconds or less. 5G is there because 5G is there. Oh, shit. Stupid thing vibrates every time it makes a freaking comment. I don't know how to turn vibration on. It pisses me off. Anyway, what I want to say is, so 5G is there. I mean, the cell towers are there, and 5G is going to be there in particular, basically to deceive you, to irradiate you more than 4G, to control you, because they can use the frequencies to actually control your mood. It's military-grade weaponry. I've covered this in shock treatment. You want to scroll back or go on my YouTube channel? That's up to you. But if you haven't been paying attention now, I'm not going to go into details. You need to pay attention to the freaking information that I give you as I post it. You know, don't think, oh, I'll get to that later, or, you know, that's crazy. No, it's facts. Military-grade weaponry that I believe, if I remember correctly, we got from Russia. Just type in thefullertoninformer.com and click on 5G danger, cell tower. You'll get all the information right there. The declassified document from the 70s saying that this is military-grade weaponry. It's used for crowd dispersal. It's going to asphyxiate you as far as your oxygen. Your cells process oxygen at 60 gigahertz, and they can operate this anywhere from 30, if I remember correctly, to 300 gigahertz. So they're going to get it right there at 60 or higher, which is going to slowly asphyxiate you. So if you start getting respiratory problems and you don't smoke, well, not only the chemtrails, those don't help, but this is going to really quicken the pace, all right? You need to think Georgia Guidestones. It's located in Elberton, Georgia. I've covered that too. Depopulation. You need to start thinking, you really need to think like this, because the beast system is rising. You know that the Antichrist is coming, and he ain't going to want to have you be fruitful and multiply. Most of you out there are already fruity, but he's not going to want you to be fruitful and multiply, as the Bible says. He's going to want to kill, depopulate. Well, that's already beginning now. The longevity in America is going down. Big pharma, vaccines, side effects of big pharma, GMOs, crap to tap water, chemtrails, radiation everywhere, 5G rollout. Yeah, maybe now you're starting to connect the dots. Maybe not, because most are still asleep. It's unbelievable. So these entities that the governments are, and these declassified documents, are consulting, there some of accounts of 9 to 10 feet tall, underground, even stuff like that. This is where they get the technology from, and there's no such thing as aliens as in, there's no such thing as aliens from other planets, because there's no such thing, and I agree, as other planets. All right, I don't believe there are. We've already had a close encounter of a third kind. We haven't, not in that sense. What they are is fallen angels. If I remember correctly, the Bible mentions chariots. You know, chariots coming, flying in the sky, right? So someone went up in a chariot. Well, they didn't have the word. They didn't use the word UFO or anything like that, or vehicle, or airplane or spaceship. They said chariots back then. All right. I think the book of Nahum mentions that in modern times, last days, that chariots will be jostling in streets or colliding, and you see it all the time with dangerous drivers, cars, vehicles. All right. So the Bible's on it. Now, 5G, voice to skull, they could do that now, but all the more with 5G. Tamper with your frequencies, because they run our frequencies, and so do we. Cell towers, so do we. They can tamper with your frequencies. I think that's why that cell tower across this, not too far from here, I really believe is screwing with the Kroger Thomas Crossroads parking lot. Because for some reason, once you get in there, it's like you're taking your life in your own hands. They can't. You're John Cena. They can't see you. They're gonna they're gonna run right into you. So, cut you off, pull out in front of you, jeopardize life and limb squeezing between you and another car just to turn in instead of waiting for you to pull out of the aisle. They're parking crooked. You're backing up, and they're walking behind you as you're backing up. They're driving behind you as you're backing up. I really think it's tampering with their frequencies. And if you're kind of a weak person, not the full armor of God, I think the frequencies can tamper with those all the more, especially if you're on big pharma pills, which a lot are these days. It's going to mess with you. So you might want to check that one out, about entities from another dimension. It's not aliens, it's demonic. I also want you to think CERN, C-E-R-N abbreviated. Look up kaleidoscope, CERN. They're not trying to find the God particle. What they're trying to do is rip through the veil between here and another dimension, which would be hell. And so, you know, during the tribulation, or great tribulation, you know, the Bible says, woe unto the earth, for the devil has come down to you, cast down to you, and he knows he has to put a short time, and all the demons and all his creatures and crap. Yeah, who's hastening that? Mankind, CERN. It's coming. It's coming, man. And they're working on it overtime. So you need to start thinking in that mind, like that, instead of, I don't know, instead of thinking like they want you to think, you know, helly weird movies, distracted by this, distracted by that, stuff that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter, man. What matters is that we live a good life, and you have to get your faith, get your soul saved right with Jesus, and try to live as best you can, Christ-like. Nobody's perfect, but I said try, and just, if you screw up, ask forgiveness and move on, knucklehead. Alright? Next one, is Christmas really Jesus' birthday? I left a link there from End Time Productions, and notice they're all Christian channels right here. Notice that. End Time Productions, and excuse me, that's from RFB. Declassified was from Jordan Productions. RFB. Richie from Boston is he has two channels, backup. Number 2 is backup. And he talks about Saturnalia. I don't know if I said that right, but I forgot something very important. You need to see this. You need to see this real quick. I caught it, but God rules didn't catch it. I caught it. As they're talking about the cell towers exposed, let me roll this back. Exposing cell towers.
Sherry Anderson manages a Phoenix office building which happens to have a few cell phone towers on the roof. She took us up there to look around.
This doesn't appear to be safe to me.
Anderson told us that the companies who installed these cell towers had a roof.
You might have missed that.
She took us up there to look around.
This doesn't appear to be safe to me.
Do you see that? Remember I talked about the giant white floodlight up there that's supposed to be golden? The sun. The sun's round. The real sun is round. And it's golden. It's not white. Bright white. And it doesn't give those petals around it, those rose petals, when you try to film it or take a picture of it like an LED light. That's what that is. Now I want you to take a look. The real sun doesn't do all that, rose petals. The real sun is also round, not hexagonal. Do you see this? Okay. Now, do you see that word? You see those words? Now, do you see this? Look at this. Right there. Let me do this one more time. You see what I'm saying? It's not the real deal. What do they do with the sun? Well, is the sun dying out? Let me help you out a little bit. I remember when I was in elementary school in Brooklyn, back in the 70s, and we had literature book, a workbook. You read a passage and you have to answer questions, or fill in the blanks or whatever it was. Answer questions and give a response. Remember one article. Well, I remember two that stuck out. It was like 1977, 8. But I remember two passages that I remember in the workbook. One talked about killer bees from Africa coming hitting the coast, East Coast by 1990, and the other one was, which I don't think happened. Killer bees like to kill. And the other one was, the sun will die out in like so many millions of years from now, but they're predicting that it's going to die out, right? The sun will grow dark, and the moon will not give its light. End times. See, whatever they say is going to happen 100 years from now, whatever they say is likely or may happen 200 years from now, or may happen 50 years from now, or could, may, might, as Dane Wigington says of geoengineerwatch.org, Yeah, it is. Could be beginning stages, but it is. So why would they put that up there? That giant white floodlight? There's multi-reasons. The LED light, one of them is to make us think that the sun's still there, which most people do. And because you have an attention span of a goldfish and Alzheimer's, you think that white thing up there that's hexagonal shape is actually the real deal, because you forgot, because you have Alzheimer's. I don't know if it's from the chemtrails, aluminum in your baking powder, maybe the aluminum in your deodorant. All this can work on your memory, seriously. A lot of aluminum cans you're drinking out of, a lot, and the chemtrails. Could be in the vaccines, aluminum there too. I mean, yeah, just saying. It's right there, folks. I don't know how much plainer it has to be. And look at this. Take a look at this. This is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. It's come to this. Look at that look. Is she on the MK Ultra? 16 years old, and you're tired of everything, of how everything is. Really? At 16 years old, you got the mind of a 50 or 60, 70 or 80 year old. You've seen enough, you had enough, and you're tired of it. Really? At 16? That's quite unusual, Greta. And if you knew anything about climate change, Greta, you would know that climate change, jackass you, is not from us, and the seas aren't rising, jackass. You freaking commie, you put up to this. What it is that they're geoengineering, they're climate engineering. That's where your freaking climate change is. Why don't you go after the chemtrailers, huh? Why don't you go after them? You freaking MK Ultra. It's unbelievable, man. That's where it is. It's in the freaking skies, where they're spraying the skies. That's your freaking climate change. Manipulation. Facts. Go look up Harvard, geoengineering, solar radiation management. Go look up NASA, spraying the skies with lithium. Yeah, there's your climate change. Look at this. It's unbelievable, man. This is Times, freaking commie Times, Person of the Year. You kidding me? Might be a Person of the Year, but what kind of person? A commie? A tool? Jackass. Fake news, right there. Fake news. Fake news. I remember when Time put Obama there, gave him a Nobel because he got a Nobel Peace Prize, like Person of the Year. It's like you just got in office. It was 2008. You haven't done anything. How the hell are you Person of the Year? And he didn't do anything for 8 years except, screw the country up worse than it already was. But that right there, my friend, is the essence of fake news. Unbelievable. You still watching Comedy News Network? You still watching Microsoft LSD? Unreal. It's unbelievable, man. I leave the links here on Facebook. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'll leave the links there. Freaking insane.